Good evening and welcome inside the Carlin Lynch Activity Center at Dartmouth High School. Southeast Conference basketball on tap tonight as the Durfee boys have made the trip to square off against the Indians. Hello again, everybody. I'm Evan Massoud, joined by Ben Smith for the broadcast. Should be a good one tonight. Dartmouth is 8-1, Ben. They've really had a great start. Durfee had a good start too, but they dropped their last one to Brockton, snapping a 4-game winning streak. So the Hilltoppers coming in tonight at 5-2, 0-1 in the conference, looking to bounce back against a tough Indians team.
Yeah, they're hoping to bounce back. They're a pretty good team. I've seen all their films and all their studies. Big star players on their team and big star players on Dartmouth, so it should be a good one tonight on tap.
The Indians at 8-1, as I said, really a tremendous start. We talked to Coach, just a couple minutes before coming on the air live, and he said confidence is key, and they've had that confidence. They beat Brockton on the road. They beat New Bedford here over the weekend for the court dedication, and now they're trying to make it 3 in a row in the conference against Durfee.
Yeah, hopefully. Coach Simonetti has grown this program a lot for this year, coming from the JV position, moving up. He's been pretty good so far, and I'm excited to see what he does today.
Talking about some of the key players, for Durfee, Devontae Stewart and Jaden Espinal, two of the key guys. They have varsity experience. They're the leaders now on this team. For Dartmouth, Hunter Madison has to come to mind.
Oh, 100%. Hunter Madison leads the team in rebounds, 6'7", and leads the team with points as well. Also, another player, Adam McGower and Elijah Montero, have been pretty well so far, as well as Dylan Gomes. So those are the 4 players to watch tonight for Dartmouth. And like you just said, on the Hilltop side, Stewart and all those other players, they're pretty good as well for Durfee as well.
Be interesting to see how the Hilltoppers defend Madison, because they had their hands full with Nuosu of Brockton, equally as tall, a young freshman who's going to probably make a splash in the Southeast Conference as well. We have all the action coming to you next, just a couple minutes time from Dartmouth High. Stay with us live on DCTV. Welcome back, everybody, to the Carlin Lynch Activity Center. The coach, Steve Gaspar Court, newly dedicated. You saw that on Saturday. Evan Massoud and Ben Smith with you for the call of this one. Hilltoppers breaking the huddle. The Indians are on the court. And, Ben, why don't you take the starters for the Indians?
Yeah, sure. First things first, we got starting first, number 3, Aiden Smith. Forward number 10, Dylan Gomes. Guard number 11, Jake Chiquito. Forward number 23, John Emili. And center number 34, Hunter Madison.
For the Hilltoppers this evening, going with Devontae Stewart with a number change, by the way. He's wearing number 1 tonight on the road. Mickey Sari out for tonight. So Stewart sporting the number 1 jersey. Number 3, Jaden Espinal. Number 5, Eric Lucas. Number 22, Alexis Montilla. Number 23, Jaleel Simmons. One other number change for Durfee as well is Josh Boria, if he ends up in the game tonight as a non-starter. He's wearing number 20 instead of his usual 32. And we have our first whistle of the game. Head coaches for both sides, Nick Simonetti for the Indians and Joe DeCruz for the Hilltoppers. Good JV game prior to us coming on the air live. Was a pretty high-scoring JV game, 87-70. The Hilltoppers taking it in the 5 o'clock game this evening.
Hilltoppers bounced back at halftime. They were trailing, and they came back and won.
Yeah, I got here around the second half, right around halftime, and saw a ton of threes. They were hitting the long ball in the second half, Durfee was. So kind of caught the end of that one, and they look strong. They go to Madison, and he opens the scoring with the easy bucket down low. And it is a quick 2-0 lead for Dartmouth. The height working that time, as we expect it will for most of this game. Lucas looking for some space, defended by Smith. Loose ball will go out of bounds. Nice attempt as Montilla goes flying into the stands. Montilla's quick, one of a couple baseball players that are on this basketball team. Montilla plays out in right field typically for Durfee and has a cannon of an arm and is a lot of speed. 3-ball from the corner, and Gomes drains it.
Great 3 there by Dylan Gomes.
Good pass to Montilla. Selfless ball right there. Lucas getting the ball to him, and the Hilltoppers on the board. 5-2. You mentioned Gomes, Ben, as one of the playmakers for this year's team here. Basically halfway through. Big time block, but a whistle. It'll end up being our first foul of the night. And it's going to go against, I believe Montilla was the man down low there. 22, yes, and there was some contact. Did get the ball, but got the wrist a bit too. So foul number 1 of the night. But talking about Gomes, you know, this team for Dartmouth at 8-1, this is game 10 already. Feels like Durfee's kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit with just 5-2 and game number 8 for them. But, you know, you've seen a lot of the games, and Gomes has really had a good start to the year.
Yeah, he's really good at the three-point line. So far last game, he went pretty well at the three-point line, drained at least 2 3-pointers. And, of course, we had a full crowd, and everyone went crazy. And it was just a great experience. And Dylan Gomes, too, a senior as well. Phenomenal football player on defense for the football team as well.
I remember the name from the fall. And I remember seeing him play last year as well, as we have our second foul of the night. And it's also going to be against Durfee's Alexis Montilla. So he's going to the bench here just 2 minutes and 5 seconds into the first quarter. Coach DeCruz having to go to the bench early as Cameron DeMello, number 0, checks in for Montilla.
Looks like he stepped out of bounds there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't see the travel call, and he tripped, and I think his foot hit the baseline. So turnover for the Indians, gives it to Dartmouth. Out to Simmons, back to Lucas. Takes the 3, missed one earlier, and misses this one as well. Hard off the front of the rim, and it goes to Smith. Smith passing off to Emil. Durfee going to take it back. Good move to the basket, and Simmons able to lay it up.
Great run there by Simmons off the glass and able to make the shot in.
Chiquito take it across half court. Really good ball movement for the Indians. Tough shot, and it does fall. Madison going down. Oh, they're calling the foul against Madison. The basket counts, though. I think they're calling it after the basket. I think it's when he fell back and he tripped. So the basket's good, and then there was a foul that drew the whistles. They didn't take the points off the board, but it ends up going as an offensive foul against Madison. Dartmouth's first. Good rebound. Good stretch there from Smith. Speedy down the court, 3-on-2, and Madison puts it hard off the glass.
What a great shot there by Hunter Madison. Able to get that on the glass and into the bucket.
Already 6 points for Madison. Good take that time for Lucas and the Hilltoppers with 3 scorers in the book. I talked to Coach DeCruz about that. You know, what stood out to me on Friday in the loss, a 57-52 loss to the Brockton Boxers. That was tipped by the Durfee defense, was that Brockton had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different players scoring against Durfee, spreading out the offense. And that's something that the Hilltoppers, at least in the couple games that I've done this season, took them a while to do. Brockton was doing full line changes, kind of stealing a hockey term, but that's what was going on. 5 coming out at a time and producing. And he said, that's one thing Durfee is working on as they hit the middle part of the season. This is the tough stretch, conference play. Durfee's played Conley. They've played Somerset. They've played Brighton. They played Taunton. Now they're into the conference schedule, and they're going to see the best of the best now for the next couple weeks into early to mid-February. So
yeah,
you got to see what's working and what's not and address it now. You can't wait till February 10th to do it. You got to do it now. That one will not fall. The rebound to Espinal, weaving his way through traffic. Quick set for Lucas, and it's in and out, and no good.
Great shot selection there by Lucas there. Wide open, great shot selection there, but unable to make it in the hoop.
To the corner to Smith. They go to the big man from the paint, no good. A little off the mark. And you see Coach DeCruz saying kind of to settle it. Quick jumper 3, not a strong shot, kind of weak leaving the hands. Not enough distance on it.
A little too early there on that shot. You got to just take your time and then shoot it when you're fully wide open and no one's covering you and you have like about under 15 seconds on the clock.
Durfee takes the timeout, and I was just going to address it. That Coach saying kind of slow it down a bit, slow it down. Durfee gets into this kind of frantic play a little bit sometimes when shots don't fall, and you feel like the speed. That's one thing that the Hilltoppers traditionally have. Durfee's not always the tallest team. Usually we're undersized, but the speed is usually there. We tend to get a lot of football players, a lot of soccer players, a lot of baseball players that play basketball. And when you got to cover that kind of ground outside, you come onto a small court like this, you're doing a couple sprints and you're back and forth. And that's what they had last year with Jaden Lewis, Javon Holly, 2 of the fastest players I've seen in 10 years of doing high school hoops. So, the speed is there, but you got to control it a little bit too. You can't just, as I said, frantic play is probably the best way to describe it. Indians have the ball. Gomes reaching for it. I think they were targeting Montero initially there. It kind of sailed past him. Corner to McGower. No good, but Madison puts it in.
8 points for Madison in this game.
Tough take and a great flip over the shoulder, underhand from Lucas. I don't think people realize how difficult that shot really is when you're behind the glass and you're like this, kind of, pancaked hand. That is not an easy shot. Lamore into the game. Hard foul. McGower did go back and, check on him. Going for the ball, obviously, on the fast break. But that almost like right around the neck. That's an ugly foul. So second foul for the Indians. McGower's first, and Lamore at the line for 2 hits the first.
That was a WWE type foul there.
It was, yeah. Smackdown at the Carlin Lynch Activity Center.
Steve Gaspar Court.
There you go.
Can't forget about that.
Lamore 2 for 2 at the line, a 4-point swing for Durfee. It's a 2-point game with 2 to play in the first. Durfee picking up their 3rd foul now. This one's on to Mello, who came in from Montia. So that spot in the lineup accounting for all 3 Durfee fouls to this point. Aiden Smith back to the line, the only Indian who's gone to the line so far. He was 1 for 2 in the first trip.
Durfee's fouls are hurting them right now. And it's really this early in this game.
Yeah, good rebound from Gomes. Big stretch, reaching over Lucas and Stewart. The 3-ball from McGower is no good, and Durfee does come away with the rebound that time. Yeah, foul trouble has been It's been a thing. Espinal can't get it to go. In both games on Friday against Brockton, Durfee maxed out in both halves. 3 from the corner, no good. And they had 9 in both halves against Conley back in December. So those are the 2 games that I covered in Fall River. So, and they came in bunches. You know, it wasn't just kind of, you know, building throughout the half. That's going to go down. The basket counts. And now to the line for an and one will go Stewart. But, yeah, the fouls come in kind of bunches, you know, like 2, 3 at a time. And it's like all of a sudden, whoa, you go from 3 fouls to 6, you know, in the blink of an eye. That's not the way to live. Durfee had 7 on Friday after the first quarter. So Brockton was in bonus before we even hit the second quarter. Devontae Stewart with the 3-point play, and this one tied up at 13 all with 60 seconds to go. And it's a travel, losing his balance as McGower goes down to the court. And it's a turnover.
I think he tripped up there.
Lost his footing on the spin move, sporting some pretty cool kicks there. Oh, that one will not go. Fight for it. Stewart comes away with it, gets bumped, called on a travel, looked like a foul, but not called. Instead, steps after the contact was made.
Yeah, he ripped it apart, and yeah, that's 100% travel. Took like 4 steps there.
Right, but non-contact sport. There was a lot of contact before the steps. Nice, off the glass, Montero.
Elijah Montero is really good in the paint this season as well.
Lucas wants a 3. He's been bidding for one, and now he drains it. First from outside for the Hilltoppers. Lucas with 7 points here in this first quarter. He was 0 for 3 prior to that one. 7 seconds. Indians looking to retake the lead. 3 seconds, down 1 in the first. 1 second, great take, better block, no foul, and the Hilltoppers lead by 1 after 8 minutes. Good first quarter, built kind of towards the end of it.
Yeah, great, highly competitive first quarter by both teams. This is more like an offensive game. Defense so far on both sides have been all right. And I'm hoping for like more defense coming into the second quarter as well.
Happy to see, you know, interesting since I mentioned about it, that Durfee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different players. The 5th being a non-starter, that's Lamore. 5 different players in the book getting points. Spreading out the offense, not just relying on 1 or 2 guys. That's a big key to a game because you can't just say, okay, give another team just 2 guys to defend all night. You have to be able to get contributions up and down the lineup. And sure, Lamore's came at the, you know, he took the foul, but those are 2 points at the line that, you know, you can't get back if you miss them. So he hit them both. That's important. Good crowd tonight on a Tuesday evening. Of course, the Lady Hilltoppers hosting the Lady Indians in Fall River. Durfee girls undefeated so far this season. They beat Brockton on the road.
Dartmouth, too, beat an undefeated New Bedford team last week as well.
Lucas blocked from behind, steps out of bounds before passing it back to Espinal, and it'll go as a turnover as we begin quarter number 2. Long 3 from the corner from Smith.
Nice shot there by Aiden Smith, able to shoot that 3 there.
Fighting for it. Whistle sounds and the dual possession. The arrow going for Dartmouth, so this time the Indians get the jump ball, as they say. They'll inbound it from the baseline. Around the arc they go, finding Kennedy. Now back to Montero where it started. Now to Kennedy. Good ball movement, and he sinks it.
Great three there.
Back-to-back threes for the Indians in the first 60 seconds. A 6-0 run to take the lead, 21-16. Hilltoppers answer with a three of their own. That was Espinal from downtown.
These camera angles looking like NBA 2K over here.
Bank shot from Smith. Both sides trading baskets. Lucas looking right, loses the ball. Madison can't get it to go, gets the rebound, tons of contact, and he is fouled on the floor. Got bumped from both angles. Durfee's fourth foul. And this one's on Stewart, his first. Indians will inbound with a fresh 35. What do you think of that change, Ben? Going from a 30-second shot clock to 35. I mean, at this point, it's practically like the football play clock at 40 seconds. 35 is a long time for high school basketball.
100% indeed. Isn't like college NCAA like 30 seconds?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a long play clock. That's a long possession, more than half a minute. I don't know the reason for it. We talked about it in Fall River on a couple of the broadcasts so far this year. I don't know that I'm a fan of it. Just seems like a lot of extra time. Stewart, offensive foul. Are they going to call it? They are. Didn't look planted. Let's like to see the replay on this one. It was close.
Yeah, it was a close call there.
Three ball off the mark from Kennedy. So for Stewart, by the way, that was his second foul. Durfee's fifth. Tough take to the basket. Madison can't get it to go back either. And foul called against Kennedy, it appears. This is Dartmouth's fourth. It's against Chiquito, actually, number 11. Tough take, and drawing the foul is Lucas. He's going to go to the line. He's got 10 points, leading all scorers to this point. He'll look to add a few more to his resume. Fifth foul for the Indians.
Wow, they're tied up on fouls, both sides of the ball.
This is Aiden Smith's first foul. Lucas hits the first. Two for two. The Hilltoppers, even though it's a small sample size, 5 for 5 at the line through a quarter and a half. Nice pick in the air there along the side court by Kennedy. And it's taken away. Pass down the court to Stewart. Trying to get around Kennedy. Great take to the hoop.
Great steal by Espinal, and Devontae Stewart just bringing it up and putting some points on the board for Durfee.
That was a sweet move. Driving the lane, little S curve, you know, veer right, juke left. Inbounding pass, perfect to Madison, and Montia, who just came back in for Durfee. He's going to get rung up for his third foul. He's literally been in the game for maybe 2 minutes' time, and he's going to get hit with his third. It's Durfee's sixth. You know, for me, those are the kinds that, you know, you just retook the lead. It's a back-and-forth game.
Oh.
don't commit a silly foul when the guy's ahead of you. Madison had the ball. He's ahead of the defender. He's taller and bigger than you. Don't commit the foul. Just let it go. It's 2 points. Make it up on your next possession.
And you know, Hunter Madison, he's a real good shooter, but he's really been cold on the line, on the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, an 0 for 2 trip right there. Right, he missed them both, right? I was tallying up something else. Did he hit both shots or miss both shots?
No, he had a one shot.
Was it 1-1? Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's right. The basket went down. My bad. I got you. Yep. It was an and one.
That's what I meant. Answer.
Yeah. I was tallying up the fouls and kind of lost track of it for a minute there. Another foul now for Durfee. This is their 7th now. They've put Dartmouth into bonus.
These fouls are still hurting Durfee so far. Now putting Dartmouth into the bonus means, like, when the next time they get a foul, it's going to be on the line.
That's right. First shot made. This was an automatic 2 anyway. He was in the position of shooting. That foul was on Stewart. It's his 3rd. All 3 coming in the first 4 minutes of this second quarter. So Devontae in a little bit of foul trouble here for Durfee. He's going to stay out there for now, but got to be careful. Don't want to lose him for too long a period, especially if this is a close game.
Yeah, especially. He's one of the best players on this team as well.
Quick release 3, well short, kind of screened, loose ball, and fighting for it, dual possession. As Ben Cherry has checked into the game for Durfee, number 15. And Stewart now heading off the court. Jaleel Simmons back in. He'll replace Stewart for a little while as the Hilltoppers inbound after the possession arrow and the dual possession. Lamore stepped out of bounds. It wasn't on the side court, that's for sure. It might have been the baseline because the foot was in on the side.
Yeah, they called it on the baseline there.
3.5 to play in the first half. 27-26, the home team leads at it. Another 2 to that as Smith goes baseline.
What a great drive to the hoop by Aiden Smith there.
Simmons looking for some space, hands it off to Espinal. Almost had it batted out from behind. He'll take the 2-point jumper. He's up to 5 points. Had a 3 earlier in the quarter. Nice take to the basket from John Emile.
Yeah, what a great take to the basket there. Able to use some aggression and force his way into the hoop.
Espinal trying to screen for Lucas to take a 3. No matter, he took it to the basket instead.
I think that was the most easier way now because it was a wide open hole there.
14 points for Lucas, leading all scorers to this point. Another nice drive. Tell you, Smith is heating up. Tremendous second quarter so far. He has 9 points in the second.
Nice.
Long 3. Off the rim, no good. And the rebound into the hands of Emile.
Is that more than Madison right now at the moment?
Madison has 12.
Oh.
And Smith with 11 total. Make it 13 for the team high. And another basket. So Madison had his way in the first quarter. Smith having his way with the defense here in the second. Another long 3, no good. So, okay, time to stop shooting bricks. They're not falling. Got to find another way to hit baskets as now you're down by 5 with 100 seconds to go. Make it 7 and a timeout, not surprised. You can't just keep throwing up bricks from the point. That's what was killing Durfee on Friday. Taking long 3s because they can't find a lane and they're not trying to get towards the basket in the paint and draw a foul. Hey, 2 points is just as good as 3, but 0 points isn't helping anybody. A lot of long ball misses on Friday. They had some that went down. You know, Espinal went off for 4. Lamore had 3, but like not much else from the field, and that was the problem. So for every 3 that went down, there were about 2 misses. That's a lot of wasted possessions.
You know, I got to say there, I agree with you. You can't shoot so much threes in the same time at the same game, and you're like not wide open. This is what really what coaches should tell players. If you're open, shoot the 3. If you're not open, don't shoot the 3. Like, there's a lot of misses along the Durfee side right now. Look at Dartmouth. They're driving through the hoop. Why can't Durfee do that?
Valid question. I posed that same question. And, you know, we talk about the play clock here, the shot clock. You got 35 seconds. Why are you using 7 seconds and then just throwing up the ball? Use the time. Try to set a play.
Yeah,
it goes back to that franticness, if that's, you know, I'm making up a word here, but frantic play. Travel, I was going to talk about that too. And say, you know, the travels have kind of been, you know, they've been better tonight. Not as many, but travel that time takes the ball away from Durfee. Madison for 3 in the corner.
What a good 3 there by Hunter Madison. Wide open and bang. What a great shot there.
17 points for Madison, a 10-point Dartmouth lead with a minute to go in the half. Lamore, tough take, and he'll draw Dartmouth's 6th foul.
I think that's what they really needed there, to put some points on the board, hopefully.
That foul is actually on Madison. It's his 2nd. And Lamore will go to the line. His only 2 points came at the line in the first quarter. Hits the first one here. Sherry out of the game for Durfee right now. Just subbed out. They put DeMello back in for a little more height on the free throw in case of a rebound, but both shots good for Lamore. Lamore 4 for 4 at the line. Hilltoppers 7 for 7 in free throws. Smith across to Emile, now to Montero. And this is what I'm talking about. Use the time, right? You don't want to. They don't want to leave Durfee with too much time, so they're trying to use the clock here. Jumper, no good. Madison with the reach and the stretch.
That's what he's known for, his rebounds there. And if you're Dartmouth right here, I'd say chew the clock down.
Yeah, and reset the shot clock because it hit the rim. It's a steal for Espinal. Trying to go coast to coast. He goes to the corner. Lamore for 3. It's good. Cuts the lead in half. 3 seconds. It's tipped. Durfee has the ball. They're going to let it fly. Buzzer beater is off the glass. But thanks to the free throws and the good defense from Durfee, they went from what was a 10-point deficit to 5 in about 30 seconds time. So if you're the Hilltoppers, you're going to feel a little bit better about how this second quarter just ended.
Yeah, they have to make better shots and make better plays as well. Not shoot a lot of threes like you just said. Yeah, and if you're Dartmouth right now, keep doing what you're doing as well. Defense, also ball security as well. We've seen a lot of balls got loose for Dartmouth as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Dartmouth, you just put up 25 points. 25 points in the second quarter. That's not too shabby. All right, folks, we hope you'll stick around here. We're going to take the break here at the half. 9 minutes left in the halftime break, and Ben and I will be back with the third quarter live on DCTV. We got a good one brewing here at the Carlin Lynch Activity Center. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody, to the Carlin Lynch Activity Center. Evan Massoud and Ben Smith with you on this Tuesday, January the 10th. Ready for the second half of this Southeast Conference battle between the visiting Durfee Hilltoppers and your Dartmouth Indians. 40-35 the score. Indians ahead. It was 40-30 in about 30 seconds time to wrap up the first half. Durfee got a pair of free throws and a 3 from Avante Lamore to cut the lead in half. So now just a 5-point deficit, but the Hilltoppers will play from behind. The Indians hoping to improve to 9-1 through 10 games and 3-0 in the conference. It would be quite the feat to go through Brockton, New Bedford, and Durfee, essentially the old Big Three, and sweep them in 3 straight games, their first conference games of the 2022-23 season.
Bridgewater Raynham also a big team as well. Like you said earlier, Bridgewater Raynham is a tough team for Durfee as well. And it's a pretty much tough team for Dartmouth as well. Any sport, Bridgewater Raynham has good competitors too as well.
And of course, Dartmouth's used to them because they used to be in their conference in the old Colony League when that was around before Barnstable left. And the Big Three in OC became what is now the Southeast. But, Durfee, Brockton, New Bedford were always the Big Three, the 3 teams everybody feared. And Dartmouth 1 win away from steamrolling right over all 3 teams. Nice layup by Emil to open the scoring here in the second half. Your leading scorers to this point, Madison had a great finish to the second quarter. After an 8-point first quarter, he threw up another 9, and he's sitting at 17 points to lead all scorers. For Durfee, Eric Lucas with 14. He leads Durfee second amongst all players in this game. And then Aiden Smith, he's got 13. Second on the Indians, third in overall scoring tonight. 11 of the 13 coming in the second quarter. He had a tremendous second quarter. Emil looking for space. That looked like it could have been a travel, but no call. I didn't like how that foot was planted or not planted, but nonetheless, back-to-back baskets for him. A 4-0 start for Dartmouth, the lead up to 9.
Emil has been really good starting in the second half so far. Been quiet in the first half, but now he's bouncing back.
First foul of the second half. It's going to be against the Indians. It's on Dylan Gomes, who had 1 back in the first quarter, so he's up to 2 individually. Espinal looking for space, dumps it off to Montilla, now out to Simmons. Simmons driving the lane, no shot, foul on the floor. It'll be Dartmouth's second consecutive foul, and it looks like it might be on Madison. Kind of saw his shoulders shrug. No, it's actually on Gomes. So Gomes picking up back-to-back, and it's going to chase him from the game for the time being. He'll hit the bench, and Montero will head out onto the floor. Shot misses. So, nice for Durfee to pick up a couple fouls, but 2 different possession attempts, not able to get a basket. Emil puts in his 3rd this quarter. He's got all 6 points. It's an 11-point lead for Dartmouth, the largest lead of the night for either side.
Emil is showing off that energy right now.
Simmons can't get it to go. Oh, and Smith went down hard on his right side, his arm, shoulder area.
Oh, that's
not good.
That's not good.
As Coach Simonetti and our athletic trainer heading out there, Chelsea Borowski, to check on Smith. So an injury timeout here. 5:50 to play in this third quarter.
Gotta hope he's okay there. Took a tumble.
It's just an awkward fall, falling is never graceful, mind you, right? But it kind of fell awkwardly and just kind of one on one side.
Aiden Smith on his feet.
Smith is up, walking off. A little shook up there, but we'll see. Hopefully he can come back.
That's a good sign there.
Kind of grabbing his hip area there, hip flexor. So might have been that the way he landed. Maybe not so much the arm. It's just kind of how he fell. I thought it was, his arm, but looks like maybe that's not the case. Good stretch from Stewart, able to hold on to it. They'll get it to Lamore. Tough take to the hoop, and he will be fouled. Dartmouth's going to pick up their 3rd foul here in this third quarter. going to put Avante Lamore at the free throw line. First foul for Montero in the game. Lamore has been to the free throw line twice, and he's 4 for 4.
Normally you don't see this from Dartmouth.
First miss of the night at the line for the Hilltoppers as a team. They were 7 for 7 prior to that miss. On the other side of it, Dartmouth 4 for 7. Now Durfee 8 for 9. And the foul going to get called there. There were steps. But again, contact coming in that case before. Jaleel Simmons will pick up his first foul, and it's also Durfee's first foul. Lost the ball, but look at the height and the reach from Madison. Can't get it to go. Stewart gets the rebound as he and Espinal kind of got tangled up almost a bit, but Stewart came away with it. Lamore looking for space, almost had that back foot come up. Almost slid with it. Tough take to the basket, and it won't go. The rebound to Emil.
That would have been a perfect 3-shot there.
Decided to drive the lane, though, instead. McGower. It will not fall. Loose ball. Stewart able to corral it. Oh, and he falls awkwardly.
That should have been a foul there.
You think? Tripped up in forward progress, trying to get across half court. Hilltoppers get the ball back. How is that not a foul? Lamore puts up the 3, no good. Montilla is fouled. That looked like a good block.
Yeah,
I don't like that
good
call. I don't like the non-call here, and I don't like that foul call there against Madison.
Yeah.
Mind you, excuse me, McGower. McGower he was fouled on that, but that looked like a clean block.
Yeah, 100%. I could see it from right here. That is 100% a foul. And you could see this crowd saying, whoa. They even knew it was a foul.
Montilla 0 for 2 at the line. His first chance to shoot free throws in the game. Misses them both. Tough trip that time. Offensive foul called against Emil.
If I were Coach DeCruz right now, I'd take Devontae Stewart out of this game. He looks like he's getting beat up right now.
Well, you know, when he's one of your top scorers, one of your top starters, you can't just pull him. You gotta hope he can make some adjustments. That offensive foul on Emil is Dartmouth's 5th foul, and it's still almost half a quarter to play here in the third. Stewart trying to find the open man. Lamore, quick pull up from the corner. That's a tough shot. Doesn't go. And coming away with it is Montero, and the Indians will take it back.
Look at that footwork.
Like to see a little more of a press, especially now down by 10 from the Hilltoppers defense. They pressed quite a bit against the Boxers, now down by 12 with Madison picking up his 18th and 19th points on that basket.
Great shot off the glass there for Hunter Madison.
Espinal, little floater there, and that's good. Durfee finally gets one from the field nearly 5 minutes into this third. They had just 1 point before that basket, and it came at the line. Three, Montero no good, well off the mark to the right of the basket. Foul called at the tail end. Dartmouth 6th foul.
Aiden Smith coming back in the game.
That's good for the Indians. A timeout called as well. I think that one was called by Dartmouth. Saw the officials pointing that direction. 48-38 the score here. 2:44 to play in the third quarter. Dartmouth with 8 points here in the third so far, and Durfee just 3. So a lower scoring quarter to this point. Durfee's offense has really gone kind of cold. You know, Lemoore had that 3 at the end of the second quarter, but before that they had a bit of a lull, and now in this third quarter, just the one basket from the field coming seconds ago. Not a very good last 6 minutes of basketball for Durfee. Durfee has the ball coming out of the timeout. As you said, Smith back into the game. Gomes is still on the bench sitting with the 3 fouls, so Montero remains as he defends Espinal. Stewart trying to get it, and he was screened and blocked, and it was punched loose. Turnover. Good defense from the Indians. Off the glass.
Dartmouth has to be careful. Dartmouth has to really be careful with these fouls right now. They're at 6 fouls. One more could be a bonus.
That was Durfee's second. It's on Stewart. It's his 4th. So Stewart in foul trouble here with just over 10 minutes of game time remaining. Another good reach from Emil. Dual possession is the call. Espinal pulls up for 3, hits it, casual, just pulls up to the line and puts it up. His second from downtown, he's up to 10 points. Madison to Montero. Emil to his left. McGower defended by Lemoore. Durfee playing tight, lost the ball. Stewart. Durfee with 3-on-2. They go to Espinal, and the basket's good. Fast break to the hoop off the glass. Deficit down to 5 again. 90 seconds to go in the third. McGower. It's blocked. It will be Dartmouth ball. Lucas coming back into the game for Simmons, who's going to check out. Perfect setup right there. Smith waiting for the pass. Espinal wants another, gets another.
Wow, what a great shot there by Espinal. And now decreasing this lead by 4 for Dartmouth.
8 straight points for Jaden Espinal, 10 for the quarter. And just like that, Durfee is back in it. It's a 4-point game. That's a travel. So it's a turnover, went out off of Durfee, but there were quite a few steps in the paint there carrying the ball. No travel called. Instead, Emil gets the pass inbounds and another basket. He's got 10 for the night, 8 points in this quarter alone. Lucas with the ball. You get it to Espinal. McGower playing him a little tighter now. Doesn't want to give up that long ball. Corner, 3, good shot!
Durfee's cooking right now.
They are cooking. All of a sudden, the offense has found its swing. 52-49, timeout on the court with 20.5 seconds, a quick release three in the corner, and it's a one-possession game. Indians in the huddle, drawing up a play.
Has to be a lot of disappointment in that huddle right now.
Well, the thing is Dartmouth has the lead. Haven't relinquished the lead, so you got to draw up a play here and make the most of this next 20.5 seconds. Get some points, take the last shot, go into the third quarter up by 2 possessions. That's the goal here.
I also got to say they have to also manage possession as well. At least running the clock down to the end of the third quarter and then start fresh in the fourth.
McGower will inbound from the other end of the court, and the clock is rolling. A little stutter step there from Montero on the pass. They got to get across half court. They do. 10 seconds. Smith to the basket, and a whistle, the foul, as he drove the lane. That's on Lamore. Lamore's first, Durfee's third. Free throws for Smith. He'll take 2 shots. The good news is that if Durfee gets the ball here, they will have 9 seconds to try to take the last shot. First free throw is good from Smith. Now 3 for 5 on the night, trying to make it 4 for 6 if he can hit this second shot, and he does. 5-point game, 9 seconds. Durfee will have an opportunity at the final shot of the third. 3 seconds. Gonna let it fly. Ball is off, ball is blocked, no shot, and the Indians, who were up by 12 at one point, the lead back to just 5. Same place we were at halftime. Both sides netting 14 points in what was a low-scoring third quarter. Well, one thing Durfee did well in that third quarter as we begin the fourth, they limited Madison and Smith to a combined 6 points. Prior to that, the two combined for 30 total points for the Indians. So that's a win for the Hilltoppers. The offense just has to be more consistent because they're playing from behind here in the final 8 minutes of the game. Smith, tough take, and he gets it to drop. 19 points for Smith, tied with Madison for the game high. Lucas for Durfee sitting at 17, Espinal sitting at 15. And that's thanks to a 10-point third quarter for Espinal. Out to Lamore, quick set, 3, no good. And the rebound to Montero. Pass down the court to Smith. Montilla. Now Madison got the rebound and it's good. 21 points for Madison.
What a good rebound and putting it up there by Madison.
See, this is the problem, right? This is exactly how the third quarter started. Durfee cut it back. It's a 5-point game. And then they start by giving up 4 straight points. It's not how you want to start the quarter. They get 2 back right there, but you can't constantly be playing from behind. Get 3, give up 6. It's not going to work. Lucas with the rebound. Crowd coming alive here at Dartmouth High. Indians fans trying to pump up the team while Durfee has the ball. Tripped up. And a foul called. Dartmouth's 7th foul.
Crowd doesn't like that. That means it's a bonus now.
The foul is on Smith. Pretty bad non-call on the same type of play against Devontae Stewart here at half court last quarter.
Yeah.
That time they call it. Lane violation, no shot, and the Hilltoppers leave some points on the floor. we've seen a lot of that too, lane violations in just 2 games, at least 2 games I've been to, more than usual. And I'm not saying it's not just Durfee committing them either. Brockton committed I think 2 as well. Players not staying set. Too over anxious, waiting for the free throws. Good pass and good take. McGower, who's seen a lot of time tonight. That's just his first basket of the night. DeMello with the stretch. Smith keeps it in as he goes diving towards the Hilltoppers bench, and Dartmouth will have the ball.
Yeah, you got to give kudos to Smith, though.
Holy cow, are you kidding me? Oh, and it's going to sit up there. You can't make this stuff up. Even the officials are smiling. Smith, the one-man show. Take a look at this.
What is this, a magic show here at the Dartmouth High School? Look at this. Brings it up to the hoop. It just stops there.
It started to roll, and then it just hung up there. But the defensive play, Ben, is what I think is even more impressive. To even get the steal and have the opportunity at that shot.
Double trip, carry.
Yep, carry called against Stewart.
But I gotta say, on that play, I've never seen that ever in my life.
Nope.
I've seen the ball get stuck in the side of the hoop, but I've never seen that in my entire life.
Yes, I agree with you there. That's a first. Simmons picking up a foul here on the floor. It's Durfee's 4th foul. Smith for 3!
What an excellent shot there by Aiden Smith.
22 points now for Smith, passing Madison, lead back to 12, which matches the highest deficit for Durfee, the biggest deficit for Durfee. They cut it back to 10 on Montia's little teardropper there off the fingertips. Another take for Smith. That one doesn't fall. The foul called against Stewart. That's going to be number 5.
It's an offensive foul there.
Oh, offense, excuse me. I looked down to mark it in the book. Let's see.
Yeah.
I don't know if Stewart was planted. That's close. Let's see here. Well, that's...
See, last game I said to Paul, I said, we need a replay system in this high school leagues.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not going to see it, but... You're not going to see it. But that didn't look offensive to me, personally. But that's okay. You win some, you lose some in terms of the calls. Smith. Rebound to Stewart.
I got to say, great crossover there by Smith, too, as well. Using that footwork. Ooh.
Foul number 9 against the Indians. It's now the fourth foul against Smith, who has 3 here in this quarter. And it's a 1-and-1 again for Stewart. First shot misses, no good. And Durfee picking up foul number 5. It's Josh Sainin, who just recently checked in. A foul on the floor there on the rebound. McGower held close to the side court. And Lucas getting called on a soft foul.
Well, they got to be careful now. One more and it's a bonus.
First foul against Lucas. McGower thought about it. Now to Montero, out to Emil. Back to Madison. Montia has 5 fouls, kept the hands up, did not get called on a foul. Good play, smart move, knowing. Excuse me, Montia with 3, my bad. Montia with 3. Stewart has 4. That was blocked. That ball just died out of the hands. Madison, 2 more. 25 points and a 12-point lead again.
How about that by Madison? He's showing it all on this court today.
Lucas with the basket for Durfee now. He's got 21, team high. 3 minutes to play in the game.
And that puts Montero to the line now.
That should be Lucas's second foul. It is. Durfee's 7th. And both teams will take shots the rest of the way now. Montero will go to the line for the first time tonight. 1-1. And the first shot is good. While we wait for Montero's second shot here, what's up next for both teams? For Durfee, they're back on the road again on Friday at New Bedford as conference play continues. And then they got a week off. They will not have live game action until next Friday, the 13th. No, wait, that's the 20th. This Friday's the 13th. Yeah, Friday the 13th this week at New Bedford, and then the 20th they'll be back home to host Somerset Berkeley, a rematch from game 2 of the year back in December. So they'll have a week off in between games. For Dartmouth, they'll be away for the next, let's see, I have here 1, 2, 3, next 3 games at BR on Friday. Madison somehow gets it to go, and then a foul on the back end of it.
What a play by Hunter Madison. Well, oh, they're going to call it offensive foul. The crowd does not like that. Let me see.
So that's his 3rd.
That.
But are they going to take the basket away?
Yeah, let's rewind here. Look at this.
The whistle came after the shot was made.
Nah, that's not a foul. 100% there.
A little more. We'll take it back.
What a rejection by Madison.
Huge defensive play on the glass. Timeout for Dartmouth. Yeah, so the points, those 2 points do count, but then the foul came in after the basket on Madison, which ended up being his 3rd and the 10th for the Indians. All right, so as I was saying now, next up for Dartmouth at Bridgewater Rainham Friday. Their 4th conference game in a row. Then they host. Then they're away at Conley on Monday. At New Bedford Volk next Friday. They don't come back home until Tuesday, January 31st, in which they'll host Apponequet. So this is the last home game for about 3 weeks. Not sure why on that 10th foul from Madison, Durfee was not at the line for 2.
I don't know either.
Or because it was off. Did they call it? How could it be offensive if the ball was already in the net?
I think
the points counted.
I don't know.
I'm still confused by that one. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ben. Make your point.
I feel like these refs haven't actually refed an actual game before.
No. Of course they have. They have plenty of experience. We can't. They've done their jobs. It could have been a missed call or just a miscue in that respect. I know there's something about the offensive. Haven't had this situation in a while. There's something about offensive fouls and the impact on the bonus situation. But in that case, I don't know how that can be offensive after the ball's been shot and the points have counted. So to me, it's a foul away from the ball. Therefore, 2 shots for Durfee on foul 10 for Dartmouth.
Yeah, I 100% agree on this. That should have been a free throws. Should have been free throws there. But I think it was just offensive. That's why.
then if it's offensive, then the 2 points that got him to 7 he shouldn't have counted. That's the problem with it. So Madison's basket should have been negated if it was offensive. And that didn't happen either. Ninth foul for Durfee.
Looks like the bench players are coming on for Dartmouth.
All right, so here's a great example of it. Foul away from the ball. Durfee's on offense, putting Dartmouth at the line for a 1-and-1. So why was that not 2 shots for Durfee? That's a miss, as far as I'm concerned. Something was missed there. Montero at the line for 1-and-1.
Don't get me wrong. These refs are, I like how their jobs and stuff, they get paid really good. But sometimes they get some missed calls and kind of just affects the game a little bit. But
1 for 1 at the line. Montero 2 for 4. Small sample size. Stewart off the mark, no good. And the rebound to Logan Kennedy. As you said, the bench, or most of the bench into the game now for Dartmouth. Game pretty much out of reach. 90 seconds to go. The Indians are locking up win number 9 and a 3-0 conference record through 3 games. Foul against Montero. Montilla at the line for 2. .30 seconds to go here. Lost the ball. Got it back, takes a shot, no good. More action coming your way on DC TV this week. Hockey tomorrow from Hetland. 8 o'clock puck drop, at least that's what's on the schedule. I have to say Arbiter Live has been the best thing that's happened to the high school sports scheduling and whatnot here in Massachusetts in a long time, because the MIAA site was just so antiquated. Now we have stuff that's like 98% accurate, and with the power rankings, schools are forced to put those records in and make sure the scores are in, so it's pretty reliable. So 8 o'clock hockey tomorrow from Hetland. Next basketball action here on DC TV, scheduled for next Friday. Girls hoops from right here at Dartmouth High against the Bears from New Bedford Folk. 74-59, this one has gone final. Dartmouth puts up 20 points in the fourth quarter, runs away with it. A big-time win for the Indians in conference play. They improved to 9-1, 3-0. Durfee drops now their second straight game, 5-3, 0-2. Ben, final thoughts?
Yeah, it was a great game by Dartmouth. They played a hell of a good game, and you know they got a long way to go. Next on Friday they got Bridgewater Raynham, and on Durfee's side, good job on, but you know, yeah.
Well, you know, for Durfee, it's kind of back to the drawing board a little bit here. They stayed with Dartmouth through with thanks to some clutch shots, they stayed with them. They kept it close, but ultimately the fourth quarter, just 10 points, and really, dropped down to, again, what ended up being a 15-point loss to Dartmouth. But, you see the numbers here. Durfee had contributions from a lot of players, and that's kind of a change from what we saw on Friday against Brockton. So that's a good thing. It's just going to get more consistent now.
Yeah.
So we'll see how the Hilltoppers can do. They have New Bedford Friday, and then they get a week off to, kind of reset at the halfway mark of the season. So.
Yep.
All right, folks, thanks for tuning in tonight. For our great crew this evening, Nick, Adam, and Dan on camera, Tyler, Mike, and Dan in the truck, my broadcast partner, Ben Smith, this evening. I'm Evan Massard saying so long from the Carlin Lynch Activity Center.